Welcome back to part 2 of my guide for the Moogle Treasure Trove Hunt for the Lore event going on in Final Fantasy XIV right now. I'm Daniel with Dragonmore Gaming, and this one I'll be showing you guys really the reward side of this, right? So if you haven't seen part 1, definitely go check that out. I'll have a link in the description as far as where and how to get these tombstones. But this particular guy will be focused on where to buy them, or where to buy the rewards rather, and what rewards are good, which ones you should prioritize, which ones maybe should stay away from. So again, if you don't know where to get these Irregular Moogle Tombstones, definitely check out part 1 to find out where these guys come from. And again, the key point, just to reiterate, if you haven't, is that you cannot do this as an undersized party. You have to do this synced and legit. So with that, let's get into the rewards for what you can get with all these Irregular Tombstones from this event until Endwalker comes out. So I wanted to go through the rewards just to kind of share with you guys what's unique to the event that you really should prioritize versus what you could get elsewhere, but it's probably better to still get it in during this event because it makes it way easier, and what stuff is just, kind of low priority. You don't even need to really worry about it. So with that, let's go into each of these different things. So the first one is definitely the best. Typically these events have some kind of a cosmetic item. In the past, they've been like an earring or a neck piece or something that is kind of cool, unique, or cute or whatever. But this time they gave us a chest piece, which my understanding is that this was only available through a promotion in Japan up until this point. So this is the first time it's actually come to North America. So the Inferno jacket, and again, that's what I'm showing off here in kind of the picture here. So this is 100 Moogle Tombstones for the jacket. Now, if you want the, and again, we'll get into how you're going to farm and get 100 tombstones in actually as quick as like 30 minutes. So stay tuned toward the end so you can know exactly how to farm these things. The next thing is the Auspicious Kamui Fief, which is a mount, and this is the one that comes from Byakko. And as you can see here, I have so the Byakko mount, how it would look, and it's kind of cool wolf, and with this little animation behind it. It's really fun. Next and that one is 50 tombstones, and the next one, also 15 tombstones, is another mount. This is the Dark Lantern that comes from Nidhogg. So this is one, both of these I would actually recommend getting. You could really do it either way, but if you have tombstones to spend, this definitely helps with farming, so you don't have to farm as much. Of course, the dog mount, the wolf mount, being level 70 content, Stormblood content, so you can undersize that and still farm it fairly well. Byakko's not one of the bad ones if you wanted to farm that. Nidhogg is a little bit more annoying as far as the mechanics or whatever, but it is only level 60, so it's actually quote-unquote easier in that regard. So both of these you can definitely get from mount farming yourself, but I'd say it's worth it to, if you don't have these, it's kind of an easy way instead of trying to constantly farm for these and trying to get the drops. These are great buys to get it. So they've had some of these in the past that I think have had better quote-unquote like harder to farm mounts. So these in particular are a little bit easier, especially the Byakko one. He's probably the easiest of the 70s, definitely one of the easier ones. But it's definitely still great to get. Next is the hair style. So the modern aesthetic styled for hire. Now this particular hairstyle you can actually get in the game through PvP. And just to show you guys, it takes 18,000 of the wolf marks. And as you can see, this is what the hairstyle looks like on each of the different characters. So pretty cool looking, and it's not terribly different from the current hairstyle I'm using. But this is either only through PvP and for a limited time through this Moogle Tombstone event. So if you don't PvP, it's going to be the only way you get this hairstyle. But it is quite a bit of farming of PvP just to get it. So I do recommend buying this one with the tombstones as well. Next is the orchestration roll, the battle orchestration roll, and it even tells you on here it actually does come from AlphaScape 1.0. That would be Chaos, and this drops on both normal or Savage if you wanted to. But this is another one so it's a level 70 raid that you could actually undersize to get the orchestration roll. It doesn't necessarily drop every time, so if you're really into collecting these, this would be another kind of easy way to to get this without having to farm Alphascape over and over again just to try to get it dropped. So this one is a little pricey for an orchestration roll, in my opinion, but yeah, it's definitely something if you're collecting these. Not a bad buy, just because otherwise you'd have to farm Alphascape. The next one is really interesting. I think this is, if you have a lot of Moogle Tombstones, if you do a lot of farming, this is the one that you're going to be buying the most of. And by that I mean, this is so ostensibly special time-worn maps. And this is a treasure map. And if you've done treasure maps in Final Fantasy XIV, you go around and you dig up a little treasure box, and it has a chance, excuse me, to open a portal to like a special instance, a special realm where there's a lot of additional bonuses for treasure, like a little, and it's usually like either some kind of a mini game or just little fights that you have to do. And so this will be for it's recommended for multiple players. Now, with the gear levels that we've been at for quite a long time, right towards the end of Shadowbringers, level 8 full party, 8 recommended. It's not really necessary to have 8 anymore. You could actually do this with like 3. Yeah, I've heard of people doing it with 2. But I'd say 3 or 4 people, easy, you could do these treasure maps. Now, when you get a treasure map, and it is a level 80, 8-player recommended map, those are the maps that usually have a chance of spawning a portal. For this event, this is a unique, special map, the ostensibly special Time War map, so it even says it in the title. But no, this one is only available for this event, and the point here is that it always guaranteed to summon a teleportation portal. So instead of, lucking out and being like, did it summon a portal, did it not? This one always summons a portal. So this is a great way if you do a lot of farming for this tombstone event. This is where you want to dump all your tombstones. So after you've got everything you want as many maps as you can carry. So they are untradeable, meaning you cannot put them on the market board, but they are not unique like a lot of the treasure maps are, so you can actually get as many as you want and stack them. So if you're looking to have a whole bunch of treasure maps, doing level 80 kind of treasure map content, this is what you're going to spend them all on. So the next one is a Barting. So the Alamegan Barting you can buy with 30. This is not a bad purchase. You can actually still get this in the game separately. This comes from the Rattle and Humbaba, if I can say that right, fate that occurs in the peaks. So if you do find the fate, you can do the fate and actually get this Barting from completing that fate. I think it is required to have gold to get it, but if you don't want to wait around for the fate, if you can't ever get it to spawn, this is just 30 tombstones, so you don't have to really worry about it. So this is definitely a good buy if you're not looking to try to track down that fate. The next ones are all 4 of these, the Drake Horn, the Laurel Gobu Horn, the Elbist Horn, and the Bomb Palaquin Horn. These are all from Beast Tribes. So these are going to be really good purchases if you've not done any of the Beast Tribes, and these are the ARR Beast Tribes. So if you don't like the Beast Tribes, don't want to do them, you have to be trusted, meaning rank 4 reputation with each of the different Beast Tribes to earn the right to buy their mount. So this is a great one if you're not doing Beast Tribes. You don't have to farm all those Beast Tribes to get up to trusted with all of them. You can just straight up buy their mounts. And they're only 30 tombstones each, which isn't too bad. So I do recommend, if you haven't done the Beast Tribes and you're not planning to do the Beast Tribes, these are definitely good purchases. The next ones, so this one, the Direwolf is actually under the same vein as Beast Tribe. So this particular one is actually from the Ixal, which is the crafting Beast Tribe of ARR. So this particular one, again, you'd have to have a crafter as opposed to combat, but it's still Beast Tribes. You still have to have rank 4 trusted to be able to earn them out. So another one to buy with Moogle Tombstones if you're not looking to do those Beast Tribes. The next 2 are from ARR level 50 trials. So the Xanthos Whistle. This drops from Garuda Extreme. And the next one, the Embar Whistle, this drops from Leviathan Extreme. So both of these are level 50. And so being a level 50 mount drop from an extreme. These are really, I say, really easy to farm. Being just level 50 content, if you go in with your unsynced 80, right, to do those, right, so not talking new Moogle Tombstones, but if you wanted to farm the mounts themselves in the game, how you can get them normally, they're not too bad to farm. So 30 Tombstones for these, I personally would not recommend. I would say just go in, unsync 80 combat class, and farm the mounts yourselves, and save yourself 30 Tombstones. That if you did, you just put toward a time-worn map, so you can get really cool, really rare treasures, get some really cool items that way, or just lots of money. So I'd say spend your time, if you're going to do that. I would just get a time-worn map and just farm the mounts yourself, unsynced, using your 80 and those level 50 trials. Another one, if you're looking for lots of MGP, so to me this isn't a super great trade, but you could spend 30 Tombstones, which again, with the farming method I'm going to show you here shortly, it's actually not bad. Then you can get 30 Tombstones in just a matter of 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, 50,000 MGP. That's actually not bad. So if you're looking to get some serious MGP for the Gold Saucer, this would be a great way to do it too. So only 30 Tombstones for 50,000 MGP, and as fast as you can farm these things, yeah, it wouldn't be bad. The next few items are housing related. So the Tree Slice Tower, which is basically like a little cat tree, very cute. The Botanist Dried Herbs, the Step Kitchen, the Marmino Lamp, and the Fat Cat Sofa. All of these are crafted items that you could actually just even straight up buy off the auction house. There's different, of course, requirements to make each of these things, but I would definitely check the market board first before you try to spend any of your regulars on these, because, for example, I say like the Fat Cat Sofa, for example. I mean, it's a little pricey, maybe it's like 20 to 30K, on Gilgamesh when I bought mine. So this particular one that I'm actually using, of course, I bought this, off the market board, before the event even started, just because it was super cool. So definitely wanted one for myself. But I would definitely check the market board first before you spend any Tombstones on this, just to see if you can get them super cheap. The Step Kitchen, for example, was only like 4K, and the Botanist Herb is only like 3K gil. So definitely check those first before you buy. The next item on here is the Bone Wicker Set. And it's specifically the Bone Wicker Whisperers, which is the caster set. So level 70 required, caster required, and it is cool looking, I will give them that. And so just to scroll up to the picture they even show here, on the lava field here. So it is, I will admit, it is pretty cool looking. But this is farmable in-game, and it's not limited to just the caster set, right? So they're only allowing you to buy the caster pieces with the Irregular Moogle Tombstones. But you can actually go to Swallow's Compass. It's a level 70 dungeon. And you can actually farm each of these pieces for yourself just doing that dungeon. And you can do that unsynced on 80s, and it'll go much faster, much easier, and pick up each of these pieces. And pick up the pieces for different classes. If you want the piece for your tank or your healer. Of course, they look a little bit different, but they are still in that same kind of aesthetic. So these personally, like if you really like the caster one, you really want the caster one, I mean, I'd say go for it. Go ahead and buy it, because each of the pieces is only 15. That's not too bad. But if you're looking to get, I just want to kind of caution or remind people that this is attainable in game. If you didn't want to waste your time buying these. But at the same time, you can get the other versions of them. You can get the healer and the, like the maiming, the melee DPS, the tanking ones. There's other sets besides this one. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that there are more than just the caster one. The next items down here are the riding maps. Now, the riding maps, this applies to each zone that increases your mount speed. Now, to be clear, and so just a little note that, of course, you have to have completed the ARR main scenario. That's what Ultimate Weapon is. Now, each of these improve your mount speed on the ground. So now that they've introduced flying in ARR, all of these maps to me are pretty worthless. Yeah, in previous events before flying, I definitely got these, and if it was more than a year ago, I'd recommend these. But now that we have flying, these are really not useful anymore. The only time I could even see these being a benefit is if you were just doing some kind of silly player event and you wanted to drag race your chocobos, and whoever had the on the ground and whoever had the fastest chocobo win. Hey, this might give you an edge. So besides drag racing or Tokyo Drift and chocobos, not really a use for these riding maps. So next are a couple of pets. So first off, there's the Griffin Hatchling. Now, so the Hatchling you can also get in-game now. This comes from 400 Centurio seals. So you can buy this in-game with Centurio seals in Foundation. And the next pet, the Aurelia Polyp, looks like a jellyfish. This comes also in-game now. There's a couple ways to get it. So the one way is if you have a free company house and you use the company workshop to do the submarines or the submersibles. This is one of the rewards they can bring back. You can also get this more recently in the Bajia area. So the Bajia lockboxes, I believe in the southern front, you can turn in and randomly get these as minions. So as a result, and they are tradable, so I would definitely also check the auction house or the market board for the Aurelia Polyp just to see if it is available on your server for cheap. I think when I checked, it was like 50 to 60K. So it's not a lot, but it is enough that I would probably spend 7. It's just 7 Irregular Tombstones. So to avoid yourself trying to farm Centurio seals and to avoid having to do submersibles, Bajia, or 60K Gil, I'd say definitely buy these 2 mounts if you don't have them already with your regulars, since they only cost 7. Next are triple Triad cards. So these particular ones, the first 2 come from the level 60 alliance raids. So these are good. So you'd have to roll against a whole bunch of other players to get these. So I would definitely recommend buying them with the regular tombstones. And the third card is the Shinryu card, which of course drops from Shinryu. So both normal or extreme. So this doesn't always drop. So this is another one if you're looking to collect all the triple Triad cards. Yeah, just save yourself some time and just go ahead and buy it with the regular tombstones. It only costs 7, so not a big deal there. The next ones here are 2 more orchestration rolls, only 7 for each of these. So if you are collecting orchestration, I definitely recommend these because both of these are from beast tribes. So Flibberty Gibbet is from the Sylphs, and the Peace of Mind is from the Vath in Heaven's Word. So both of these cost the special currency that each of these have. So the first one costs golden leaves, whereas the second one costs black copper. So those like beast tribe specific currencies. So instead of having to worry about those and like doing very specific beast tribes quests just to get those, you can save yourself some time and just buy those with irregulars there too. And the last item here is just kind of the throwaway one. If you have leftover tombstones after the end of the event you cannot acquire anymore, they still leave the vendor open for a bit longer so you can still buy the items. So this is kind of like, if you don't have anything else to spend them on, or if you've bought everything you wanted and you still have some left over, and you don't quite have the 30 you need for another treasure map, this is just like a little silly thing that you can use in-game, and just, it's one of these, consumable emotes, as I call them, where it just has little stars over your head. So just kind of a little flashy thing that just doesn't do much. It's really just a throwaway item. And when you're finally ready to spend your regular tombstones, make sure to head to one of the capital cities, Limsa, Gridania, or Ulda. And just to show you where they are, marked very clearly on the map, but they are these little Moogles, that both on your mini-map and your regular map, the itinerant Moogles. And they have the nice little Moogle symbol on their head, and this is, you want the newest Irregular Tombstone exchange. So they're all near the big aetherytes for each city. So the first for Limsa is just south of the main aetherite. For Gridania, it's just to the southeast of the main aetherite. And for Ulda, from the main aetherite, you just run out of the aetherite room, and then Itinerant Moogle is just across the street, just to the southeast. So that wraps up part 2 of our guide for the Moogle Tombstone event on the treasure, specifically the rewards, where you can get them, and which ones are good, which ones maybe to stay away from for this event. So guys, hope this has been valuable, hope this has been helpful. So please subscribe if you're looking for more content like this, and thank you guys so much. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.